How you doing? My name is Lance, and welcome to my second channel, The Witching Hour.
Is there a spooky ghost here?
What's up, everybody? I am Lance. If you're returning, welcome back. Now, if you haven't heard, well, we all know we're having a tariff war right now between us and China, well, everybody, but China in particular is the subject of today. So, since we start pulling tariffs on China is doing Uno reverse card, and they're telling everybody
It's Hermes Birkin, but it's different. It's a patched style. You can see the handles, the flaps, and also the straps are made from Himalaya crocodile skin, while the rest is made from Togo, calf leather, cowhide. Okay? This is very wise because Togo is like a normal leather for normal price point. However, the crocodile skin is for the highest price point of Hermes bags. So the patch style intends to strike a balance point between quiet luxury and extreme luxury, or final point, okay? And this bag is made by us, by our factory, but we use exactly the same leather from the same supplier for Hermes. So we have exactly the same quality, the same perception. Even if you take it to the boutique, they won't be able to tell if this is made by them or made by us.
hey, you know, all those expensive brands you've been buying for all these years, top tier prices, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, even some of the smaller brands, Nike, Under Armour, what's that one legging company, Lulu Britches, all these other, they're just China saying, you know, all that money you've been spending, we've been making it mostly here, and the brands, we've been sending it to the manufacturers, the big houses, and they just slap a label on and do some extra little finishes, and then they package it and they say, and they slap made in Italy, made in France, you know, and made in America. And now they're, since the tariff war, they're just like, you know what? Why don't you come straight to us for pennies of the dollar compared to how much they charge directly to us? So really, it kind of benefits the people, us, the common people. Not so much the big fashion houses and even the big companies. Really, I think it's helping the consumer as far as cheapness, because they're like, hey, you can come directly to us. You know that Hermes bag that's $300,000. You can get it for, we make it for $1,000, like $1,200. Let's just say you can buy it for $1,200. So that's been going on the last few weeks, right? And it's really coming ahead because a lot of people who are buying these big expensive brands, they're freaking out. And they're like, it's made in China, made in China. First of all, is this new to people or something like that? I knew this for years. This is not news to me. I thought everyone kind of knew this. Like, China makes so much of our stuff. That's the reason why he wants to bring businesses back to our country, so we can start manufacturing here. Because China makes all of our stuff practically. So this whole thing about, oh, I didn't know. First of all, China's been making stuff like, remember, what was it? They used to make silks and stuff back in the day. We used to do huge trades back in the day with China and stuff like that. They used to make the most finest silks. Was it the Silk Road or something like that? Or is that black market thing they have on 4chan? Anyway, it was called the Silk Road, or I think it's called the Silk Road, or Silk Road, I don't know. But China used to have the finest silks that we used to trade with and all back in the day. Spices. Now all of a sudden it's such a kind of racist to say how, you know, if it's made in China, it's kind of, because they're making some good stuff too. They make the crap, but they also make the good stuff too. So I don't know what this whole thing about, you know, if it's made in China, it's all, you know, it just, you know, but You know, I guess it's more luxurious if it's made in France or Italy. It is kind of saying, you know, China, you're not good enough. It's given that kind of vibe. But anyway, besides all that, I really want to check out these TikToks and stuff. It's a compilation. We're checking out a channel. We're checking out a channel called Jojo the Map. But the title is called Luxury Customers in Tears. Made in China is unbelievable. Let's get right into it. I'll leave the link for Jojo the Map.
It's so funny how gullible the people are, especially in a Chinese app.
I need you people to wake up and critically think and stop believing this shit that you see on TikTok, okay?
Does anybody have the Louis Vuitton from China and a Louis Vuitton that they got at the designer store? Because I need to see a side by side. I have to know if there's any discrepancies or any differences, or is it the exact same thing? Because I'm starting to feel ripped the fuck off right now. I got a closet full of this shit that I paid thousands for. And you're telling me it's all been made in China and I could have just gone straight to China and gotten this shit? It just can't be the same. It cannot be the same. And if it is, damn, we all got played. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us. Seriously, please don't tell me I got played. I refuse to believe that there's no difference.
It's made in China. I can get that for $12.
Go outside and touch grass. Some of you guys feel like this is your moment to shine and you can finally stick it to people that buy luxury goods without like even fact checking anything about any of this information that you're being fed from these factories or people with these TikTok videos which seemingly have false information, everything from pricing to the bags. Like, I just don't understand. A lot of these luxury brands own their own manufacturing and source product from farms that they own. Hermes owns its own tanneries and crocodile and alligator farms, has workshops in France, and most bags are made by a single artisan. So go ahead and buy your DHgate bag, whatever bag, and see how it holds up over the years. Trust me, Hermes is not concerned.
You mean to tell me you believe that this man is making your Birkins in China? If he's a Birkin artisan, then I'm an astronaut.
None of the brands these creators mention, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Chanel, especially Hermes, need to go to China for production. And here is why. Labels like Made in France and Made in Italy comes with strict restrictions. And brands at that level don't risk compromising that. It's just not worth it.
Hermes is one of the few brands made in France, really made in France. And maybe you don't know, but their workers study for like 5 years before to produce a bag. Each bag is produced by a single artisan from the start to the end. I prefer to invest in Hermes because it's very high quality. So before to say something, next time inform yourself. And don't follow the trend just because it's a trend.
You can continue to expose all of these retailers. Nobody's going to care.
I am about to crash out.
Y'all would never catch me in nothing fake. No fake earrings, no fake bracelets, no fake shoes, nothing fake designer. It's going to be a no for me.
Many luxury shoppers are currently spiraling in a downward trajectory, and honestly, can you blame them? TikTok is in full meltdown mode after Chinese factory manufacturers started posting videos claiming they are the ones making a lot of the bags we're told are made in France or crafted in Italy. And not just any bags, we're talking about the $7,000 and up kind. Suddenly, shoppers who thought they were buying Parisian sophistication are wondering if their bags came from a factory in Guangdong with fluorescent lighting and very different price tag. The alleged cost of making one of these luxury bags is around $400, but the retail price, oh, just a casual $7,000, maybe more if you added gold hardware or just a seasonal color that sold out in 24 hours. I'm Jojo the Map, and
You're paying for the name. That's all you do. You're paying for the name. You're paying for the exclusive. What do they got? The idea of wealth. That's the reason why people buy a lot of brand names and stuff. You're buying into the lifestyle, the name, because it represents wealth and access and inclusivity. That's the word I'm trying to think of. You know, all that kind of stuff. That's why people want to buy this expensive stuff. You know, it makes them feel good about themselves, feel like they're part of the, you know, the it crowd, it feels, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Hell, in high school, I wore Nautica because everyone else wore Tommy Hilfiger. Back in the 90s, that was the big thing in our high school. Is either you're wearing Tommy Hilfiger or Nautica. Everyone wore Tommy, so I wanted to be opposite from everybody, so I wore Nautica. So I was a little brand whore at one point, but who can afford that anymore?
And I knew you would not want to miss luxury shoppers' reactions to this whole Chinese manufacturer saga, so I had to bring it to you. People are posting TikToks like they just found out that designer bags cheated on them. We're talking real emotional reactions, disbelief, betrayal, and full-on denial.
Wait, but hold on. What is it? Crying because I bought an expensive bag from one of the expensive brands. Please, I want my money back. Ooh, girl. Mm-hmm.
I got a closet full of this shit. Like thousands for. And you're telling me it's all been made in China and I could have just gone straight to China and gotten this shit?
She's gorgeous. She kind of gives me, you know who she's giving me? Angelina Jolie a little bit. This girl is stunning.
It just can't be the same. It cannot be the same. Please don't tell me I got played.
Girl, yeah, you might.
No difference.
You find out that your luxury car is not worth the pay.
But would you blame them? Put yourself in their shoes. You finally did it. You budgeted. Maybe you splurged. Maybe you swiped that card and promised yourself you eat ramen for the next 3 paychecks.
Not ramen,
but you did it. You walked into that boutique, heart racing, palms sweating, and walked out with the bag. Not just any bag. A Birkin, a Chanel Classic flap, a Louis Vuitton, a Gucci. The kind of bag that makes strangers double take. And your mom asks you, how much did that cost again? You spent thousands, maybe tens of thousands, and you told yourself it was worth it because it's luxury, right? It's artisanal, it's elite, it's stitched by French angels under a full moon while drinking espresso out of Baccarat. But what if I told you that the bag you dropped a whole paycheck or 3 on might have cost less than $500 to make? Cue in the gasp. Over the past few days, Chinese manufacturers have been going full expose mode on social media, posting videos, photos, and factory breakdowns and step-by-step cost estimates allegedly showing the real price of producing luxury handbags. And when I say the internet is spiraling, I mean it's given full breakdown mode. Now, to be fair, these claims are not verifiable. Some could be replicas, some could be marketing stunts, some might just be that one ex-factory worker still salty about getting fired in 2019. But regardless of authenticity, one thing is crystal clear: luxury shoppers are in full emotional spiraling mode, and their reactions are absolutely Oscar.
Let's just be honest with you. For being a dupe or whatever it is, could you tell? If you could get this for $50, you know you would buy that shit. Because people be like, girl, you got some money. You might not have to wear that. You don't take this to Save a Lot though. Don't go to your local Piggly Wiggly with this. You'll get jumped. And just maybe you can take this to a Target and not get jumped. But don't go to a lower end store. You'll get mugged real quick.
Already. It's made in China. I can get that for $12. I need you people to wake up and critically think and stop believing this shit that you see on TikTok, okay?
Some were shook at like...
Some of these are pressed. You real pressed. You real pressed. You must have a full closet of that shit too then for being that pressed. Woo.
I stayed for 2 years and skipped my cousin's wedding for this kind of shock. For them, the idea that the 4-figure price tag may be more about the branding than the craftsmanship was basically an identity crisis. And then others are in deep unbothered denial mode. They're saying that's fake. Those are dupes and not real. Luxury brands would never do that. And I don't care. It's still iconic. But their dramatic and emotional reactions are very justified because because luxury has always been about the dream, the exclusivity, the lifestyle, the tiny glass of champagne they give you in store while you wait 40 minutes to see a $2,500 key pouch. It's not just about a bag, it's about a badge of success, a silent, I've made it. So finding out that your $20,000 tote might have taken just $372 in materials, $50 in labor, and $15 in packaging, it's giving emotional damage. They might need therapy. But here's the kicker. Hasn't it always been like this? The fashion girlies always knew this.
For everybody that used to be mad at the girlies doing their DH Gate hauls, to the front, to the front.
Those leggings that y'all are paying $100 for, $5, $6 over there. Like, they so petty because now the suppliers are saying, hey, y'all can just come to us directly. You ain't even got to do all that. Don't go to Alibaba. You come right to us. And those wedding bands that y'all are paying thousands of dollars for, you can get that same wedding band for $2.
First of all, is that how you pronounce that? Lululemon? Did I say Lulu Britches earlier? I think I said Lulu Britches. Lululemon. Wasn't there a pyramid scheme clothing company called Lululemon or something like that? No, this is Lululemon. Who was the other one that was a pyramid scheme that were doing leggings? It was called Lulu Row. Do you guys remember Lulu Row? I never bought anything like that, but I remember there was a big scandal about that for being a pyramid scheme. But Lulu Row, that's what I thought. I was like, are they the same? No, this is Lululemon. I said Lulu Britches. Okay, my bad.
You can get that same wedding band for $2.
The industry insiders definitely knew, but when the veil
surprised my wife, the items I bought from Chinese warehouse for $50. Oh, she got some good stuff. She got what? We got some Prada. We got a cute little Fendi bag over here. Okay. Now that's a good husband right there. This all looks nice. I don't give a shit. I'll buy me a nice Louis Vuitton wallet for like $12.99. Sure, why not? Let me tell you something. You see a lot of the same stuff like at the flea markets in downtown, not downtown Orlando, South Florida. There's a huge flea market in South Florida. I used to get all my like brand name colognes through them because let's just be honest, some of the things I think they kind of got from a back of a truck or a warehouse because it's all legit packaging, but it's all kind of like I think they stole it or black market stuff because it's real, but it's kind of questionable. You see the people who are selling it and I'm like, what? A Versace cologne, like real, like in the packaging, like you would get at the store, in the plastic, still with the like with all the scanner codes. They still have the scanners on there, girl. And I don't know if they stole from back of a truck, but I used to get all my clothes for $10. I got Versace, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana for $10-15, and not like little samples, like the full thing. I even got DKNY. What was it? Was it DKNY who came out with Unleaded or something like that? Who was it? Oh, it was Diesel. Diesel came out with this one cologne I bought. It was cool. I wish I can't find it now. It looked like a gas pump, and it was called Diesel. Girl, it smelled like diesel. I don't know why. I only paid $10 for it, but it was so nice though. The packaging was gorgeous. It looked like a little, but it smelled like boo-boo.
Veil gets lifted for the masses, it hits very different because it confirms a truth you kind of always knew but wished it was a lie. But wait a minute, why do people react so strongly to this? Why the shock and denial? Why the outrage? Here's your answer. Luxury is not just about the object, it's about the identity. When you buy luxury, you're not just buying leather and thread, you're buying status, belonging, confidence, even emotional security. Psychologists call this symbolic consumption. We don't just wear things for function.
Oh, there's girl, back in the 80s when I was a kid, if you were crazy, you would just call crazy. Now they have new terms for it. You're just touching the head. They have a new term for that. But symbolic consumption, there's actually a term for that. Symbolic consumption refers to the act of purchasing and using products to express an individual's identity, status, or group affiliation, rather than solely for their own functionality, utility. We learn something every day, people. We learn something every day. That's interesting. Symbolic consumption. I have to remember that.
We wear them for meaning. So when that meaning is threatened, when someone says, hey, your $25,000 bag might just be worth only $100 in production, it crosses a line. It's more than just a money issue. It's personal. It feels like your identity is under attack. The brain hates that. It kicks into denial, defense, even anger, because nobody wants to feel like they got played, especially when it's tied to social status. There's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's very political: the global trade war. As tensions grew between the US and China and tariffs began choking profits, some factories and middlemen may have decided to cut back. But not with sternly worded emails or press conferences. Oh no, they came with receipts. The strategy was simple, shady, and honestly kinda genius. By showing the world the real numbers, buyers would know the real production costs and they would rethink their purchases. If buyers pulled away, luxury brands would feel the heat. It's strategic, it's petty, and it's actually power in Prada. Genius, if you think about it. And whether or not every single post was legit, the wave of conversations it started is very, very real.
As a girl who has spent over $100,000 on luxury bags and Prada, Gucci, Louis, all of that, a lot of you guys have asked us all the same questions. How do we feel about China coming about and telling everyone that these bags are realistically $20, $50? How do I feel? Stupid.
Hermes doesn't care if
I like her attitude on that one. I liked her attitude. How do I feel about that? Stupid. Work, girl. Work. Can we go back to the $100,000 you spent on material, on bags? $100,000. That's a home. Girl, what you do? I need to sign up what you do. Apparently, I'm doing it wrong. How do you do? How do you do? I like to spend $100,000 on some nonsense too. Why? Tell me how I can do that. $100,000 on that. There are people who can't even eat right now. They're trying to either pay their electric bill, or if they can, maybe they can get that 5-pack of ramen on top of that. Bro, that's crazy.
If you think they're made in China, they don't care if you're going to buy fake Birkins from China, because it means that you still want Birkins. The only reason you're buying a fake Birkin is because you don't have enough money.
Here's the thing though, while the internet is busy pointing fingers at the rich, at the brands, at the factories, the real story is getting lost. It's whether you want a product or not. If you're paying for a bag for the status symbol alone, then you must be okay with the fact that the price is hiked up by so much dollars just to make you feel richer than others. But if you're buying it for the quality and their claims of where and how it's made, then you must call them out for deceiving you. Because luxury brands must be honest about where and how their products are made. And as for the price of production being light years away from the actual retail price, I've got zero problems with that, because fashion is both art and commerce combined. And sometimes it's impossible to put a price tag on the art part of the equation. If a banana stuck on a wall can sell for millions of dollars because the artist said so,
here it is in all its splendor. We're going to begin at $800,000, at $800,000, $850,000, and I'm selling it here, the world's most expensive banana, at $5,200,000. It's yours. Congratulations.
A banana that's duct taped to a wall. 5.2 million. If that is not some kind of laundering scheme, who is buying this stuff? Who is buying $5 million for that? That is a laundering scheme. Whoever's spending that kind of money, they're laundering money. Allegedly. Is it by The Guardian? I don't know. I don't know too much about The Guardian. I've heard mixed reviews about The Guardian. But that sounds like you're spending money to launder money. Because $5.2 million for a banana, I don't care for shit. That's you consider that art. That's bullshit. Sounds like some rich person trying to use a laundering scheme. I don't know. That's just me. Am I a conspiracist? No, I don't think so, but you might think so.
Thank you very much indeed. Then luxury brands can charge thousands of dollars more for their creations as well. The question of if it's worth it or not is left for the buyer. So what now? Do we stop buying luxury and burn our Birkins in protest? Probably not. I would definitely not do that. But what we can do is start asking questions, demanding transparency, and maybe, just maybe, stop pretending that every $4-figure handbag is stitched with unicorn hair and the tears of Karl Lagerfeld.
Not the tears of Karl Lagerfeld.
But until then, let's all raise our glass, or maybe our dupes, to the drama. Because if fashion is smoke and mirrors, well, honey, the smoke just cleared. I am Jojo the Map, and it was nice hanging out with you. I had so much fun. I hope you did too. See you again in the next one. Remain fabulous, remain beautiful, remain blessed. Bye.
Is that Jojo? All right, Jojo, go work on. I like this Jojo. Let me hit that subscribe button. I'm sorry, I didn't hit that subscribe button. First of all, I appreciate the fact it's not an AI voice. I was fully anticipated to be a whole AI voice, just like everything else. But no, I the little the little roasting, the little sarcasm. I'm here for that. I'm here for that all the day. The Tears of Karl Lagerfeld. That was good. That was good. That's a $5. That's a $5. That's a $5 one right there. I like that one. Yeah, I mean, if you're spending that kind of money and you hear that it was made not where you thought it was, or it was mostly not made where you thought it was, and then it's only cost like what was it, the Hermes bag, like a $1,200, $1,000 basically for the all the stuff to make it, versus what is it called, $300, when they sell it for a $900 900% markup for like $300,000. Crazy. And then I was seeing that, take this as a grain of salt, that someone saying that Cardi B and J-Lo is complaining about to the big fashion houses, we want to see receipts now. Cardi, I think she said something about like, and she's the biggest one that gets, I'm surprised she even said anything, because she gets free swag from them, I'm sure, from all these big fashion houses, I'm sure. So you trying to say something. But her defense was, I think she said, people should, at the end of the day, the big fashion houses should be taken accountable and be honest with the customers. So someone says, aren't you always in bed with these big fashion houses? And why are you like what was the comment that, you're biting the hand that feeds you. That's what they said to Cardi. And she's like, no, I feel like they should let the customer know and be transparent. That's what she was trying to get at. So I give Cardi about I give it to her for that one. And they said apparently J-Lo, but I don't even sure what J-Lo has to say. She's such a narcissistic anyway. But what do you guys think? I'm not surprised if it is the truth. I'm not surprised. Now, it's not there like they're saying. It could be, just like they say, it could be China retaliating and saying, it is what it is. They're retaliating and say, hey, but it's not. They're trying to give the consumer, the American consumer, hey, get it through us. You want a good price? You like these brand names? Come to us. We'll give it to you for fraction. What's going to happen? People think with their wallets. You know that. People think with their wallets. You can't tell me that it's not the case. We think with our wallet. If we can get a good deal. Did you know that China, one of the distributors, I found out that this one girl, she's like, I can get Tide Pods for $1 a piece. I can get 20 Tide Pods for $1 a piece. That's $20. She's like, you know how much Tide Pods are in America? She's like, you know how much I spend for Tide Pods? You can get Tide Pods for $1 a piece. Is that normal? I don't use Tide Pods. I use liquid. But apparently that's a great deal. Let me know if you guys use Tide Pods. Because she's like, I'm gonna go straight to China now to get all my Tide Pods. She made it sound like Tide Pods are $20 a piece. I don't know. You let me know. You guys use Tide Pods? I don't know. I have no idea. I've seen them. I'm aware of Tide Pods. I saw the controversy of kids eating them thinking it's candy. So I'm very aware about Tide Pods. I just don't buy brand name stuff. I get a generic detergent that does very well. I get it for like 32 ounces or whatever it is, for 50 something for like $5.99. Like, you know, I think they raise it for $1, but it's still like $5.99, $6.99. I'm not gonna spend $15, $16 for detergent. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The detergent I use, I get Dollar General. It works very well. It works very well. My clothes come out very clean. And I don't look stinky. Okay, so let me know in the comments what you thought. I thought this was a fun, interesting video. Kind of not like our normal video, but I thought it's pretty on, you know, what's going on right now. And you know what? I know you and we like some great deals. So let me know in the comments. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Love, peace, and grace, and bye.